Second, leftover from therapy for today, I got more psychoeducation in session today that I wanted to pass on. This one is a 4-step process for navigating difficult relationships. I thought a lot of people might benefit from this specifically with their parents. Step 1 is to look at where the damage is being done, like what the circumstances or the topic is that is bringing about the wound, and look at where control is being had on either or both sides. So let's say that it feels like every time your mom comes over, she is commenting about something in your house and how she knows that must be so expensive and she can't believe the way that you spend money. And you feel like she is trying to shame you and control your spending. You're likely going to be very aware of her invasion on your financial decisions, and yet you might also be trying to control her in a way that you might not be super conscious of unless you pause and really look and ask yourself, am I trying to control back in any way? Maybe you've done things like sent her links on social media to videos about things like how if you buy a really nice vacuum, it'll last longer than getting the cheap vacuum. And your motivation in sending her some of the things you've sent her is to try to change her position on how money should be spent for the sake of getting her to stop controlling you. But if you're trying to change her beliefs rather than accepting them, then there's some degree of control going on both ways, even though she started the chain reaction. So then once you know what controlling behaviors are going on in either or both directions, you would want to put them out on the table and both agree to not do those things. So running with the same example, her commitment would be to stop commenting on the things you've purchased, and your commitment would be that you're not going to send her videos sharing financial advice or your financial beliefs. You also would create a boundary, which that's kind of what those things would be. But it's always good to keep in mind that there are internal and external boundaries. So it might be worth considering if there are internal boundaries that you can set in addition to the external ones. Step 2 is to grieve what they couldn't be for you or couldn't, what needs of yours they couldn't meet. So I'm just going to keep running with the same example. In your ideal world, they would just not be critical of your spending. That's not who and how they are, and so you would want to grieve that. And you also may find that in addition to feeling judged by them, you now can't talk to them if you have financial anxieties. You can't get support from them related to your emotions surrounding financials. But kind of take inventory to what is lost versus what the kind of perfect relationship would be, and grieve those things. Step 3 is to find elsewhere to get those needs met. So maybe you can make friends with somebody who has similar financial beliefs to you. You can discuss your beliefs with them. You can discuss your purchases with them, your financial anxieties. Or Step 4, and it only works if they have respected the boundaries and you have that base level of respect, which obviously, unfortunately, does not always happen. But if they're able to respect these boundaries, if you're able to grieve and find other places to have those needs met, then that makes number 4 fully possible, which is to enjoy the parts of the relationship that are good. Maybe you both love true crime and you can enjoy listening to podcasts together, or listen to the same podcast the same day at work and then discuss it afterwards. Maybe you still love talking about almost every other aspect of daily life, and so once a week you get together and have dinner, and it can be lovely if you just leave financial topics on a shelf. this is really just kind of about radically accepting things as they are. And so you face the reality of what doesn't work in this relationship and find workarounds for that, and then enjoy what is left. I didn't get a name for this like 4-step process. A lot of times I'm given like either a therapist name or like a modality that it's related to. He didn't give me that this time, and I didn't think to ask, so I don't know who to credit this to, but if anybody else knows, please leave it in the comments.